to bring my microphone a bit closer. We should be good.
Well, I can hear you fine, but it's always different for the people listening. In the meanwhile, I can shut this down and I can start this up. What do you say, chat? Can you hear Mort all right? Or should I tweak the levels? I should turn off the music
good,
in the
bad,
background.
Quiet, loud.
Take the correct answer. I can hear him just fine. It's all right. Thank you guys for telling us. Actually, since I have the Nexus open, we might as well take a look at the mod page first. All right, so this is the new, well, one of the first new mods. Tiny bit louder would be good. Okay, I can make Mort louder. All right, that should be better.
All right, how's this? Probably a bit better.
I'm sure it is. Tell us about your mod, Mort. What's the big idea? What's the big idea?
Well, anyone who's played Morrowind knows that stealth is not good.
To put it mildly.
Well, it's very good if you're a mage. If you use Invisibility or you enchant Chameleon on all of your gear, it's the best mechanic by far. No one will ever notice you.
Mechanic / exploit.
Yes, yes. But if you tried to actually play a thief, it's terrible. Like, sneak is a very weird mechanic, and you can. I linked to the page the original formula there for how it's calculated in the base game. OpenMW has that formula in there. It is one of the most complicated and convoluted formulas I've ever seen, and it all has very good ideas in it, but at the very end it rolls a random number between 1 and 100 and then compares your score to it, and it does that every single time it checks.
That's so, very, very pen and paper, actually.
Yeah,
that's the way it is with the stealth skill and whatever, detect or intuition. I forgot what it was. It's very pen and paper like.
It is, but unfortunately it does that every single
5 seconds?
Single time it checks. Yeah, every 5 seconds. So you can be completely motionless and then be in stealth and be out of stealth. It would be good if they rolled it once per NPC. So like that was their role, or they kept that role for a certain amount of time. But I just let you change the number directly, and that actually serves as a really good slider for how difficult you want stealth to be.
Yeah, so there's all kinds of options there.
Yes, I'm all about options. I don't pretend to know the best way to balance this game.
Anyone who claims they do is not necessarily a liar. They're either a liar or a mistaken.
Yeah.
All right, so the formula is, let's go with the short explanation. Sneak is now a consistent, predictable, and fun. It is true, like so many times, like I'm sneaking, and between the moment where I'm sneaking successfully and I activate a door or whatever, suddenly I'm out of sneak, and I'm like,
you had a bad roll.
Exactly, which feels very, very frustrating. Especially when I was just taking a piece of clothing and I'm kicked out of the blades. That's totally unfair.
Yes.
It's happened. Yeah, that is very, very cool. I haven't tested in my game, so looking forward to seeing that. However, I don't know if I'm using a UI replacer that gives me an eye in the middle of my screen, very much like Oblivion and Skyrim. So I don't know, compatibility.
You should send me a link. I might be able to change the transparency on that eye.
It could be, because as far as I can tell, the eye is a replacement for the icon, but it's a different kinds of things. I'll have to find exactly which UI replacer it is, because I've got so many things in there that, yeah, it's a bit complicated. So that's a very cool feature. Attacks made from behind. Yes, I really like that. For the longest time, I've been playing with 100% success on attack. and I kind of got used to it. So when I played without it, I was like, oh, come on, just hit. And
Yeah,
so I was really like, oh, I'm gonna put that 100% hit because it's just so frustrating. But with that, now that changes everything.
yeah. If you play with Murlord's backstab mod, you'll probably kill everything.
Nice, perfect. And then you've tweaked invisibility because that is also very easy to exploit.
Yes, it is. If you're very used to vanilla invisibility, this will probably be a big shock. You can restore it if you want. Again, it's your game. I don't care if invisibility is broken and you love it. But I always found it weird how just enemies can't find an invisible person, even if they're making all the noise in the world and they're like taking things in front of them. And due to the way stealth works, like if you cast invisibility and then grab a bunch of items off the shelf really quickly, like you'll get away with it, and they just don't notice, I guess. So that's fixed.
Good. But you made that optional again.
Yes, yeah.
Which is very good. Which is very good. Yeah. Being able to customize the experience is the absolute best. Let me catch up with the chat because, Prof, I remember a mod at one point that attempted to correct the invisibility delay exploit, but I don't remember who it was. That was Raymer. Oh, that was you. Okay, yes. So you actually built on that.
Yeah, that was a mod from years ago that I didn't have a place for.
So it never was published?
It's just included in this.
Good.
Yeah.
Easy. The worst problems with stealth are more unrealistic behavior that's more involved to fix. Unfortunately, like player character enters buildings and disappears into a previously locked room without going through the exit. Nobody suspects anything is wrong. Why would they? Player character is then entering a storeroom, closing the door, and then leaving it, and nobody's. Yeah, that's what you do for the Mages Guild quest when you have to go and borrow the book. So just mind, I'm just gonna go in your closet. And then you go and cast your spells and go, and you come out and the room is empty and say, well, thank you, that was very nice. I don't think we could fix that by mod though, but it's very weird. We just need smarter NPCs for that. Hey, Zero, good morning.
If you kept track of stolen items, every stolen item would have like the ownership tag on it. And you could have, if you steal over a certain value from a certain person, they'll hire like a bounty, someone to hunt you down or something. I know Skyrim has something like that. If you steal so much, like the Mages Guild will send someone after you.
That'd be really cool.
There's an idea. Someone who wants to make that'll be your modathon mod.
Well, neither Merlord nor Null are here. Usually when they're here and we have brilliant ideas, we say, well, there you go. We'll have to talk about that again later if they show up.
Yes.
All right. Shall we just go and take a look then?
Sure. Yeah.
Let's do that. So this is my modding install. So it's very ugly. Okay. So...
that's everyone's modding install.
Yeah, it's just like
if it isn't ugly, you're not modding enough.
It's ugly because it's mostly vanilla, but then I try something and there's all anyway. That's what it is. Lua mods can do it for sure. It just won't necessarily be easy to get it just right. Well, that's the thing when you're trying to be like realistic. Like, where do you stop? If it becomes too realistic and you go, oh yeah, but what if there is this and then you code something that's just incredibly complex, and it's just that's my testing character, and it's just way more complex than it needs to be. So it's always so hard to find just the right spot to make it realistic but not annoying. Okay, I am a level 1. Actually, I should sneak 35. Do you think I will get good results for that?
Maybe. Sneak 35 won't let you sneak through a town just because there's so many people, but maybe.
I'm just gonna, I guess it does that thing. It freezes for a few seconds. I don't know when it loads at that point. There we go.
Yeah. Is this the one from the Nexus? Or the one that I sent you earlier?
Stealth is the one from the Nexus, and Distraction is
Okay.
the one you sent me earlier.
Excellent.
Okay. So now I am successfully sneaking because no one can see me.
Yep.
Oh, that was quick. But that makes sense. It's almost... Yeah. Stop sneaking.
It almost seems a little slow.
I don't know, because line of sight, there's the door. So, I don't know, with the collision boxes, maybe? Can I hide in a corner? I can't totally hide in a corner. I wish we could do like in Thief, you know, and just go.
Oh yeah, lean.
Yeah.
Oh, there's an idea.
You should know. I should put a warning. Warning to modders: if you join on the stream or if you just talk to me, your to-do list in terms of modding will triple. Right. Now, I might need to just increase. Do I have my cheat mod in there? Yes, I do.
You can also just make stealth easier.
Oh yeah.
You don't have to increase it.
So let's see what we can do.
So the sneak difficulty threshold, if you lower that, it's just going to make... Oh yeah, 10 will be very easy, 100 will be very hard.
Let's see how easy. I'll go to where? Hey Marken, welcome on in. The VR mod for Open Morrowind lets you lean in. Oh wow, that's...
Oh. Yeah, this mod is simple enough that I could probably recreate it in OpenMW Lua when they get there. There's nothing too weird.
I lose my sneak quite soon though.
This is in this line of sight is very, very, very important.
Makes
sense. An NPC can see you like directly with the front of them, they're gonna notice you. However, and this is one of the changes to invisibility, invisibility makes it act like you are behind them all the time. So it doesn't, by default, give a high bonus to sneak.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes it so that you're always behind them. So then
you're
it's
not
more based
in
off
line of sight.
Right. So then it's based off of like your footstep noises or whatever is abstracted into the sneak skill.
All right, let's find somebody I can sneak upon. Like, not a guard. I assume they have some rather high... Did you know you have to go? No problem. I'll talk to you soon, I'm sure.
Guards don't actually have high sneak at all.
But they don't they have a high, what is it? Alarm? Something along those lines?
Alert and alarm are not factored in.
Huh. Crap. Fargoth saw me. They're a lonely NPC. That's what I need.
I like to go into the first cavern, the first bandit cave. That is a good demonstration.
You can hide behind the rocks.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm thinking like your mod, where you can hide behind stuff. Like as long as there's no line of sight, you're pretty good. So you know, if you manage to do, and then you use the dash mod from Axe, and you go.
Dash?
I haven't installed it. Unfortunately, I was just looking at it. I bookmarked it, downloaded it, but it's not in there because that's my modding install, and I was not going to do anything. But you think I should try to get it? No, we'll concentrate on yours. But
I'd be interested to know if you can dash while you're sneaking. That would be very cool.
yeah, wouldn't that be a little bit game breaking, or I don't know, it would be harder to do, or because when you're sneaking you can't jump. So you cannot jump, but you can run. I mean, obviously you could always roleplay that you're not dashing, you're rolling, you're tumbling, you know, in a true commando style. Oh, she see me.
Now this is where my other mod would come in handy.
And now she didn't see me. Distraction?
Yes.
How do I distract?
If you have anything to throw.
Like throwing stars? Or potions?
Yeah, throwing stars.
I mean, it's a bit silly to throw anything there. She'd see me. She's going to check it out. Oh, this is so good. And then you go backstab. I don't have anything to backstab.
Die, fixer!
Oh, I'm gonna have so much fun with the distraction. Because then, yeah, okay. That's it. I've lost my edge. My one advantage. Fortunately, I don't have dragon do. Oh crap, she's fast. Why am I so slow? So distraction, anything you can throw. So throwing items. That would be throwing items. That's all we have in the game.
So I made it so this is a very late addition to it. I remember that the sound spell exists, and no one ever uses it. So I made it so that
I use it. I gave it to cliff racers.
Oh, just to be annoying.
Well, you know that they do that annoying sound. So I want my character to be deafened. So that puts a sound effect on the player. But sorry, I distracted you.
No. I made it so the sound spell, if you cast it on target, and wherever it hits, it will distract based on how strong the sound spell is. So by default, the distraction distance of a throwing item is 600, but with a medium strength sound spell, you can distract NPCs from much farther.
What is the sound spell called in game?
It's like dire something. I know the earwig is a very bad one.
Well, we'll go with that.
Dire noise is the very strong one.
Yeah, but I'm level 1. 2 and so I think there was. Does the distraction work with magic? It works with sound. The sound spell. It's not included. Oof. Yes, I'm gonna have to make myself a bit stronger. It's not included in the stealth mod yet, or will it be incorporated? Is it gonna be a separate mod?
It'll be a separate mod. I wasn't sure how quickly I would get it done, and it turns out I got it done very fast. So it's different enough from the stealth mod that I don't really like the idea of having an all-in-one super mod. No offense to Axe Magister. It just makes sense as a separate mod.
You will die!
Yeah, well, she can see me. I'll try on the next one, okay? You died. You're okay. Actually, I have... There we go. Alright, so next one, we want to distract them. Oh, between your stealth, your distraction, your pickpocket mod as well. It's gonna be really fun being a thief.
It is the least fun class in regular Morrowind, and I wanted to make thief a little bit better. I don't even like playing a thief personally. I always play a mage, but I feel bad for anyone who likes thief.
And 90% of the
of
the community.
It's too good.
How about you go? Maybe a little too far.
Ah, yes. Earwig is... It's not...
This is so good.
So by default, you can distract them twice before you have to leave the cell and come back in. But you can change that. They don't get fooled every time.
Bummer. So they can be distracted twice. The distance. Distraction time, what is that? How long they're distracted before they go back? Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, this is... I want to play a thief now. Okay, I'm still... Can I make it somehow without being undetected? In my head I hear dun 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 dun. Whoa, oh, the icon. Now I have the transparency on the icon.
Ooh.
So I know I need to be careful.
Yes.
Yeah, it'd be really sweet if that could be in the... Because honestly, when sneaking, I don't want to be looking at the bottom right corner.
Right.
That's probably something Oblivion and Skyrim did better than Morrowind. Don't tell the rest of the community. I am in good standing for now. Okay, let's see if I can distract you to go there. Probably nothing. Oh, go. And I wish I had a backstab mode, because then you would be so dead right now. But now obviously that did nothing because I suck. This is gonna change the way we play. Like, seriously. Let me catch up with the chat. One of those combat enhanced or 4NM has anything like that for a combo. Anything like 4NM, as far as I know, there's so many things, but as far as I know, there's nothing like the distraction mechanic that we're looking at. Stealth is completely overhauled as well. It's got its own formula and calculations. I don't know them by heart. So I don't know how it's done exactly. You would have to compare the formula of both mods. In vanilla, I play a thief / warrior / mage. You got all the bases covered, basically. I can never decide. I do a thief mage, of course, with a bow, definitely. You're working on it. Forget what the mod did, but it gives us an eye icon while sneaking. Yes, no, I crow this one for now doesn't work, but Mort will take a look. Hopefully it's simple enough to get it to work. So that would be really good. And now let's pretend that I backstabbed you. There you go. Oh crap! I forgot about her. Okay, is there something else that we need to... I need to give myself some invisibility and chameleon and see how that affects my ability to sneak. I want to cheat, that's right.
And in the base game, casting invisibility had a very high chance to just completely bug out the NPC combat AI. So... Invisibility might save you here because you're far enough away, but if you try to cast invisibility right next to an NPC, they'll probably see you anyway.
Especially if you're role-playing, like, you know, as a wizard, you tend to say something and you go, invisibility! And everybody's clueless about that. You can say it in Latin, but still, you know, they'll get a sense that something's happening. Disappear. Yeah, also... Now they could be stabbing in the dark, trying to get to you maybe, but... Alright, invisibility, will it save me? Oh, and I don't have any magicka? Well, no, oh yes, I am sort of sneaking, but I am hidden behind a thingy. I have some invisibility. No, I've lost it.
Yeah, she can't see you.
And I have 60% chameleon. That's what invisibility does, right?
No.
No, where did I get my 60%? But I mean, I know that's not what it does, but where did I get that 60% chameleon?
You may have something that changes the invisibility spell to be 60% chameleon.
I don't think so.
It's normally just an effect called invisibility.
Yeah, I know. I'm just. Did I have that before? Did anyone pay attention to that tiny corner of the screen where I may or may not have had a chameleon effect before? Let's give myself more magicka. Crap, I should have paid attention. I'm not sure. All the magicka in the world.
Let me live.
Okay, no, invisibility is there. She's confused. So, invisibility, casting it right next to an NPC, not gonna work. Picking up an item while invisible and then quickly getting the heck out of there, not gonna work.
Correct.
Okay. Where is she?
She got lost.
Thing is, she's a thief as well. There she is. I'll distract her. I mean, she's already plenty distracted going over there. I don't know why. But... You said you gave NPC voices, right?
Yes. There are a limited number of voice lines that work for this, but I tried to include as many as I could to make it less repetitive.
She can't see me. Oh, yes, she can. Not here.
Oh, Morrowind.
I know, but that's fine because the moment I'm not directly behind, she can see me. That is good. I mean, the AI is stupid, but there's nothing we can do about that. And she would be dead if I could use a weapon. Okay. That is super exciting. Is there something I missed? I want to look at the
I mean, it's pretty simple.
I mean, right now I had my sneak very, very low. Sneak skill effectiveness percentage multiplier. So how is that? What does that depend on?
That would mean if you want your sneak skill to count for more than it does. So it'd be similar to the sneak difficulty threshold, but if you just wanted sneak to be twice as effective or 10% more effective, I don't know, it's another slider you can mess with. The base distance multiplier is going to be the one that makes a huge difference.
I shall not mess with it.
Yeah, the math is so difficult to figure out with it, but if you increase that, let me think. So it's like 0.5 times distance over 1,000 plus distance over 1,000. So, oh geez.
Hang on, I'll rename the stream Mathematics with Mort and Decay.
Yeah, so in the base game and in this mod, your distance to the NPC is going to make a huge difference. And what a lot of people, including myself, will run up against is you'll be in stealth, you'll get closer and closer, and then as soon as you get within striking distance of the NPC, you'll drop out of stealth. Just because that number increased so much. So the part of this is having the sneak icon. You can see if you're far away and your sneak icon's very light, you'll know that if you get closer, you're probably going to drop out of stealth. But it's still, sneak distance is huge in this.
Okay,
sneak distance and view angle.
We won't mess it. And so view angle, that's about line of sight.
Yes.
So the way it is, yeah.
100 is fine. I had it at 120, which I think is also fine. Anything between 120 and 100 is good. 100 is easier. 100 makes it so they can really see the cone in front of them. I had to do research. I looked up like what is the field of vision of a person? Like what how far can people normally see? And it said like depending on the person and their level of alertness, like how wide their eyes are, and like so 100 seemed like a fair bet.
Okay, we'll keep that. I see the boot armor type multiplier. That is very, very cool. So wearing light armor or clothing, obviously, you don't get any sort of penalty. But the moment you're wearing heavy armor, it's gonna make your sneak harder.
Medium armor essentially reduces your stealth by 10, and heavy armor reduces your stealth by 20.
Like your stealth skill.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
is that
your
actually directly
skill.
applied to, like, is that something you see? It's like a spell?
Yeah, that's a good point. You probably could.
Hang on, let me kill this one before she remembers that she hates me.
You won't see it in there, but that would be a good reminder.
Something, yeah. I mean, at the same time, after a while, you... But it would definitely help, especially since it's something quite new. People might not remember. So yeah, something there. I don't know.
The base game bases stealth off of the weight of your boots, which was very weird. It meant that even if you were wearing like thieves' boots, it was worse than going barefoot. Which I thought was just inconvenient. I don't want to have to take my boots off every time I want to sneak.
Especially in Soulstone, that's gonna suck.
Yeah. Oh yeah, if you're running Ashfall, does he do
Exactly.
that? If you're barefoot in Ashfall walking on snow, do you get frostbite?
No, it's not like that so far. But I think Murloc was overhauling. I mean, I don't have Ashfall because modding in stone, but it works with coverage. So the more skin exposed, the faster you get cold. But if you don't have any shoes because you don't show a lot of skin, it's not as bad as not wearing a shirt. So no, I don't think he pushed it that far, but we'll have to let him know. And the option to lose a toe if you run without shoes in Soulstone. You now have 9 toes. Game over when you only have 1 left. That could be... You know, people keep saying that having Ashfall like changes the way you play. Let's change the game over as well.
Yes.
Or flies off animation. So yeah, I really like that with the boots. It would be nice to get something somewhere on the UI.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, after a while, you know your mods and you know to not wear heavy boots if you're sneaking. And you know to take them off.
Yeah, I think a lot of people who actually play Thieves won't be wearing... I don't know, maybe they will be wearing full day trick. I don't know.
I don't know. Like in, yeah, sure, playing games like Thief where everything counts, sure. But in Morrowind, I must say,
Everyone ends up wearing Daedric eventually.
I don't think, well, not me, because I never live long enough to to wear Daedric. But I don't think I've ever taken my shoes, like even in role playing, saying, oh yeah, I'm gonna be like, because there was no advantage in game. Like if taking my boots off, I had a +5 to my sneak skill, I would do it. Something to consider. A little bit like I'm thinking, you know, Remy's mod, equipment requirements.
Yes.
Where based on your skill, you can either equip or not equip, or you get a debuff to your stamina regen. Something like that. Something similar that says, okay, when you equip those boots, your stealth is reduced by X points. I don't know. To be fair, I'll be using it anyway. But But yeah, all right, very cool. Let me catch up with everyone. Did I miss something? Was there a question I completely ignored? If so, I apologize. My Argonian doesn't need any fancy shoes. Indeed. Do Argonians have stealth as or sneak as a main skill?
Khajiit do.
Khajiits, yeah, because obviously there's that racial prejudice that all Khajiits are thieves. I vaguely recall walking barefoot making you cooler. Yeah, but I think it's about more skin being exposed. Hey, Random Val, lovely to see you. Yes, we're looking at Mort's mod. There is Stealth that was published yesterday. So that is very, very cool. And there's also Distraction. Do you know when you'll publish that? Are you going to wait for the 4th to get the May the 4th be with you achievement?
I might, yeah. I'm trying to think of anything else I could add to it to justify holding on to it for 2 days, but we'll see. What else can I add?
The ability to throw miscellaneous items would be brilliant, obviously. But
throw coins. I need to throw coins. That's it.
I really like that. But how do you do it?
Yeah, because you can't really equip them.
Would it work if you had some sort of like a marksman item? Like create a sort of a placeholder item that you do equip, but when you use it, I don't know. I have no idea. Like scripting and coding is definitely not my strong suit.
I don't want it to be weird because there's a lot of
if it's clunky, it's just gonna take away from the whole experience. So
right.
A cone thrower. That would be so cool.
Yes.
A lure mod that dynamically turns clutter into weapons.
Oh, that would be very hard, but pretty cool.
It would be. I mean, I suppose it could be done like with creating a bottle marksman item, a bull marksman item, blah blah blah. You create all of those, and then when you, I don't know, shift activate, like shift E, whatever the keyboard you have, and then instead of picking up the miscellaneous item, you're given the weapon item. But I'm not sure that it would be very like immersive. Throwing coins would be really nice, and especially, and now that I think about it, something that actually costs a little bit would be nice too.
Yeah, I mean, throwing weapons still cost a lot, especially if they don't hit anything.
Sure. Can you? I don't know. Just the coins. I think it would be easier to stay with the coins rather than try to have a bottle and a flask and a bowl and a spoon and a knife and a fork. Transmute coins into coins.
I think the just remembering how Morrowind deals with throwing items, it might look weird throwing a coin, throwing it like end over end. I don't know. The animations don't play very fast, so it might look pretty unrealistic.
I mean, it's really cool that we can use the sound spell, because that suddenly is going to make the sound spell quite interesting. It's not very good. Silence is much better, and even the silence is overlooked. Beat someone with a ladle or broom. You can play an angry housewife, I guess. And I'm going really into the cliche there. I apologize. Could I use some stone you picked up from the ground? I'm trying to remember. With Pimp My Shrine, we did have the stone. And you're right. I think then Merlord added something so that you could pick them up off the ground. It might be worth looking into the Pimp My Shrine code, or just, hit Merlord with a PM. It's got so many PMs, I'm sure. Because the ability to look for stones would be quite good. Like, they're not good as weapons, really. Mm-hmm. But if you spend a bit of time when you're walking across, I don't know, the Bitter Coast, and I don't know, I'm gonna leave that to you to figure out until the 4th of May. But yeah, oh gosh, that's super exciting. Wow, a YouTube follow. I don't think the person can hear me, but just in case, thank you for the YouTube follow. Sound can be better than silence if it makes the enemy waste their time and magicka and still fail to cast a spell. True, because with silence, they just cannot cast spell. But sound, you increase the chance that they will fail casting the spell. It's just that you're never quite sure how strong your sound has to be for them to fail entirely. Just a button that distracts and remove one coin from the inventory. Subtract.
My keyboard is used up with so many hotkeys for Lua mods already.
It is. It's so very true. Like back in the days when we had 3 Lua mods, and even then key binding was not really a thing. But now there's so many with the Control, Alt, Shift, other Alt, and I don't even know. I don't even know anymore. I'm like, I don't know. Which is how I ended up drinking poison. More often than I actually applied it to my weapon because I messed up. I think it's Shift. Yeah, no, it was not Shift. It was something else. I'm imagining a similar functionality like how Ashfall handles gathering water but searching the dirt for stone. It could be, especially since it's a Lua mod anyway. Something...
If anyone out there wanted to make a Lua mod where you can just turn anything into a throwing item, I will gladly link it on the mod page. That would be a good Lua mod for anyone who wants to get into it.
And it would make sense that you can throw soap spans. It's been done for generations. Now I'm trying to think of statics, because something that Ashfall does, it's to use statics such as the trees and the grass. And with Lua, you can actually interact with statics. So I don't know, if you had a pickaxe and you activated your pickaxe on a rock, could you get some, chip it off and get some little stones that you could throw? For example, that could work. Been a while since I heard that one. Did you change it on Twitch? Oh no, Skink. I have a follow song to the YouTube sub. Just because sometimes I can hear it like we did. Enwa throws a chair. Yeah. Maybe not a chair, that might be a little difficult, but yeah, it might be something to be able to, and I know that those that code already exists to have a pickaxe to enable something, and then that could be good. And we can listen to the Sill Strider and meditate as we do that. Pick up and throw a turnip at enemy and a Mario Bros. When you said turnip, I was thinking Baldur's Gate 2 actually. Jan Jansen. But that works too.
Jan Jansen.
Yes, reminds me of my cousin. Sorry, let's wait. The blue plates are nice, but the brown ones hit harder. When were we having that discussion a while ago on Discord where we were laughing about that? But yes, using miscellaneous items would be cool, especially if we can use them as distractions. So now you have many more things to do. Let me look at the options again to make sure we didn't miss something. It's very nice that you can disable the mod from within the game.
I think every Lua mod should have that. It's just so easy to put in, and it makes testing stuff very easy.
Yeah. And also, depending on the character that I'm playing, I might not want that. But with your stealth mod, I think I might, if my character is a highly specialized thief, I might, increase that a little bit, because that's what my character has been doing for all their lives. So they ought to be quite good from the get-go. So that is really good. I love the boot armor thing. You know what is missing?
Don't say light.
I won't say it, but that.
Yeah, I'm working on it right now. I've never said his name out loud. Hernchammed.
Neither do I. It's so hard. Yes.
Hernchammed added a fix for how I was calculating lights, and boy, there are so many different variables to keep track of. You have is the light in range? How bright is the light? How close is the light? Does the NPC have a light? How bright is the cell? Is it light outside? Where is the sun? What time is it? What's
the color of the light?
I'm not going to deal with color. If it's blue,
because
it's
you
the same
see,
as
if
white.
it's green and I'm an Argonian. But yes, definitely light is that's a tricky one. Would it be just doing interior exterior, like exterior daytime? Clear weather.
Yeah, I think doing like the weather and then the exterior night and day would definitely be the easiest. But if it's night and then there's torches around, it would be unrealistic to have them not able to see you. But
yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I'm almost there.
Good. So we have things to look forward to. And then again, don't worry about the torch. I mean, there's this famous thief in Sadanin sneaking around with a torch and no one is none the wiser. They have no idea.
No.
So torches are not a problem.
Caught.
Does he? That's the way it is. Red light preserve night vision better. I think there was a Melchior had an old mod. It was just a whip. I don't think he ever published it. But basically what he did was based on the month. You would have, like, the idea is that with the moon, the phases of the moon, a particular month would make it easier to cast certain types of spells and so on and so forth. And that was pre-Lua, so I'm guessing it was using the Morrowind script with a global constantly checking what is the month and then applying a buff or a debuff to the player accordingly. But without going for an antique like that, just putting a debuff, like a spell, a debuff to your sneak skill if you're outside daytime clear weather.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a little thing that doesn't take into account all kinds of things, and what there's a blue sky and you're a sea elf, then how can people see you? What if I'm close to the water and the reflection, or what if I'm close to the lava and there's the haze? Yeah, but light.
Can you sneak in water?
No.
Okay. Oh, I thought I was forgetting something first. Okay.
No. The moment you start swimming, you stop sneaking. It's like you have to be making really, really small, calculated movements. Oh, that's a good one. Did you see me world record holder's suggestion? I think there is a possibility of distracting enemies by taking off the shirt. Yes.
That is a good idea.
Just flash them, and for a few seconds they'll either run away or come towards you, like hit and miss. You can never tell. I've always wanted a mod that handles the month and grants a blessing accordingly. Yeah, that was based on that Zero. It was a complicated name and I forgot. If you ask Melchior, he'll probably remember. But that was back in the days of Planet Elder Scrolls. So having some sort of buff when it's your month, that would be really good also. Like the month of the apprentice, you enjoy a constant buff. That'd be nice. Probably doable with Lua as well. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Mort, are we forgetting something?
It's pretty simple. I think that's everything.
But at the same time, it gives so many options. I'm going to quick save, and I'm going to install real quick dash, and we'll find out if we can dash and sneak. dash.
That would be a lot like Dishonored. Very, very Dishonored.
Like
So
I could really roleplay that. Like you're not running real quick, but you're rolling.
Yeah.
And maintaining the sneak. Then that works. Yes, you can go on my desktop.
If there was a dash spell that you could cast to kind of just teleport you forward?
There is a dash spell that you can cast. It's part of 4NM magic as well as 4NM overhaul. But he's
got everything.
It's got everything. One feature that I absolutely adore, though I think it might now be part of the willpower mod. With 4NM and 4NM magic, the formula for magic resistance, maybe it's there, yeah, is recalculated. So 100 doesn't give you immunity, you need 200, but obviously there's lots and lots of things that are added in there. But also,
that's good.
If you manage to get super resistance to fire, for example, fireball would heal you.
That is a massive change, and that's awesome. I know the biggest problem with Morrowind balance is things can go to 100%. I mean, in a game like Baldur's Gate, you can never be like perfectly stealthy. There's always someone that can see you. There's always something that can break your stealth or break your vulnerabilities. But in Morrowind, no, 100%, you're fine. So that's actually awesome.
It's really, really good. So I would love to see that as a separate mod. And in there is the dash spell. Actually, and also Magicka Expanded has something similar, where essentially you cast a spell, and wherever your spell hits, that's where you're teleported. So it's a short range teleport, so that is also in Magicka Expanded.
That's cool.
Which, I don't know, might work. So I was talking, hopefully I installed that. Let me check. And then we'll see mods. That's not part of, what did I just do? Dash, yes, it's there. Let's take a look. Let's see if we can dash stealthily. Oh, that would be so much fun. In the Symphony, Hedgehog added a feature where when you're sneaking, you can grab not a torch, but something bigger. Crap, I can't think of the word. A big torch. A torch on a leg.
Big torch.
Oh my goodness, it's not a chandelier.
Lantern?
It's not a lantern. Come on, chat. Teach me English. You can do it. Anyway, you can grab one of those. They're...
A torch on a stick.
It's
not a candelabra.
No. The candelabra is... That might be it? Yeah. Okay, we'll go with that for now. But anyway, when you're sneaking, you can actually pick it up and drop it in front of you, and you can sneak behind it. So you can move the light items in the game and hide behind them. Which I haven't really used, because typically I'm sort of sneaking and all of a sudden there's this light in front of me. I'm like, where do you come from? But I picked it up. Load. I suppose we can keep my quick save.
Crescent?
Huh?
A crescent.
Oof. That's not the word I was looking for.
But that's what it is.
That's not what it's called in Morrowind. And now we have dash. Okay, that is a left shift to dash, and it costs stamina. And okay, I'm gonna. Oh well, I do baby step dashes because my acrobatics is not great. I've already killed those people, so it's not gonna work. We need to make a fresh character. So we can go to the cave again and fight those low-level NPCs. And I'm gonna give myself higher acrobatics so we can dash a little more. Still don't know where that 60% chameleon came from.
That's maybe there's an ability just called invisibility? I don't know.
That's what I did. Yeah, you're right. When I gave myself the chameleon and invisibility. But yes, I didn't give myself the spell. I gave myself the ability. That's what happened. So I was sneaking, not always super successfully, with a 60% chameleon. That is good because vanilla chameleon is so crazy broken. Like if you have decent sneak and a 2% chameleon, you attack the NPCs and they go, "Oh, where are you?" And they run around in circle because they have no idea where you are. So that is good. That is good. Let's go this way. So we'll try to sneak and dash. Yeah, no, sneaking underwater, not a thing yet. Unless you put some slaughterfish mask. Alright, I am sneaking. Okay, now first, that's my tiny dash. I am sneaking and I am dashing. And I keep the sneak while dashing. That brings up possibilities, doesn't it? That means that as a thief, you really, really want to increase your acrobatics as well. So you can dash/roll, and you can go from cover to cover.
Acrobat is actually a very good class now.
All of a sudden,
and not just the default class.
A little bit. But yes, like acrobatics, it's never the skill that you pick. You never go, yes, I'm going to specialize in acrobatics. Acrobatics is the skill that gets to 100 at some point, that lets you jump from rooftop to rooftop, and that's it. But it's never a skill that you go, okay, let's work on that skill. Let's practice acrobatics. It's not how I do it. I jump from the Sill Strider platform. Okay. I'm still waiting for the ability to walk normally on the ocean floor if you have enough encumbrance. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Or if you equip lead boots, maybe it would be easier to do.
Yeah.
Okay, she cannot see me here. Oh. Oh, crap. No more stamina. Oh, crap. So when you dash, you need to have enough stamina, because if you want to do many successful dashes and you run out of stamina and you're like, no, can do. Fabian, thank you for the follow. Welcome on in. I'm going to make a male Dharma acrobat with the Atronax sign. I mean, why not? Like, with stealth being actually something you can rely on, let's get ourselves some sound. No, I don't need the sound spell.
Yeah, I need leaning for sure.
Right now, I feel the need for it. Yeah. Now all I need is a good backstab skill and weapon, and you can totally, like, literally sneak up to your enemies, send them left and right so that you can approach them undetected, and then bam. Yeah, all the characters that we can play now, you know, like viable build. That is so cool. Someone on the Discord was working on the movement animation, potentially enabling that. I remember a video of Levitate using the swimming animation. Yeah, Melchior did that, I think. Not 200% sure. I see too many mods. Too many mad names and the ability to walk on the ocean floor with high encumbrance, this ability to swim with high encumbrance. Let's start with that. Yes, that wouldn't be too hard to do though, based on how much encumbrance you have. You would get, oh no, because we have swift swim, but we cannot apply a negative swift swim. But it would make sense that your swimming speed should be lowered.
Slow swim.
Slow swim. Yes, we're going to create a spell that nobody wants. It's going to be terrible. Thief and assassin characters. I may want to try one on my next playthrough now. And I think you should, Variel. I know I'm looking forward to the death of my permadeath character so that I can roll a thief next. Definitely want to do some of that. Oh, brilliant. Yes, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you. Going now. So good that NPCs cannot follow me through doors. Because in my game they do. Now I can go na 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 na. Oh, brilliant. Necromancy. Weren't you working on the necromancy mod?
I was until I saw was it Vitruvian Guar doing Necrocraft. That is amazing. It is so well done, and yeah, he does it a lot better than I did. We just need to wait for him to come back and finish it. I remade Illuminated Order.
Yes. Listen, I always imagine that that's how you decided, or like the two were connected somehow. That working on one made you want to do the other one.
Yes. I still have plans for an improved necromancy just in the base, but I also want to integrate necrocraft into it directly, so that the two just like you become a necrocraft lich through the mod, and that would be pretty nice.
That'd be brilliant. Zero, you talk about a telekinesis overhaul. We actually have, if you're playing Magicka Expanded, there is already something for that, and it's pretty cool. The way it works, you cast your item and you see the item floating towards you. And I can't imagine a way to make it better. And I have lots of ideas for mods, but that's the one you want for telekinesis. Goes with Magicka Expanded. Really, really good.
Oh, that's a good Operator Jack mod. It's very, very good.
It's so sexy as well. It's just like it comes towards you, and when you're sneaking at the same time, you're like, come on, quickly before they see me. But now with your mod, it's going to be a little more fair, because it's not going to be a matter of lucky roll or unlucky roll. It's a matter if you're in a spot where no one can see you and people are not walking towards you, you know you're good. Our overhaul in terms of NPC detection.
NPC detection is weird.
don't NPC AI is just, yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, I was gonna quickly take a look at some of your other mods. Pickpocket, I think it's a staple mod for everyone. There's just one thing that I miss. Back in the days when cannibals didn't have a Lua version, all of the NPCs had in their inventory a brain, an eye, and an ear. And so you could, with your mod, you could actually pickpocket the brains from NPCs. And that's what I did when they were mean to me. I would come back and pickpocket their organs. And now we can't do it anymore, but that was so much fun.
Aww.
It was fun. Unfortunately, like, pickpocketing their brain, they should become, they should lose all of their intellect, and pickpocketing their leg, they should lose their speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now it's with the Lua version, NPCs get their body parts when they die, essentially. That's the way it is. And we will find out if you are a traitor. Yes, you are. You've been modding other games.
Oh, that was years ago.
Pillars of Eternity 2, that is not years ago. That
was some years ago.
2 years maximum. Oh, wow. Treachery, that's all I have to say. Well, Skyrim is not there. Yeah, we looked at this one in the mod jam.
I couldn't figure out Skyrim modding. It's too complex.
I was never really tempted. No, it's not true. What I did, I took a house that I liked, and I took containers that I liked, and I put the containers in the house. That's the extent of it. And Oblivion, have you tried to mod Oblivion as well?
Same. No, I really don't like Oblivion.
That's fair. That is very fair. Make sneaking get a big debuff while using telekinesis. I don't know. I'm not sure that would be fair. Like, I would get like if you're really concentrating, like you can't concentrate on being sneaky and using telekinesis at the same time, but being sneaky, you just need to not move anymore. I think that would be adding difficulty unnecessarily. I've had a hard time imagining that dude isn't gonna notice his Daedric Greaves flying off the shelf right next to him. True, but that's the thing. That's the thing with telekinesis, right? Like even in vanilla, if you hide and your telekinesis has enough range and you just take things off. But you're right, NPCs should react to seeing a flying bottle or Daedric boots.
Ideally, Lua code could modify it so that if the item is within an NPC's line of sight, they notice when it's telekinetically taken.
Exactly.
Yes, you can do that. That is how you would do it. There is an event that I use that's whenever a stealth check is triggered, and you would just have to put in a line that checks every item in the cell, and if it's being telekinesised and it's within line of sight, it would trigger you as detected when you steal it.
Yeah, so, that would work.
That's possible.
That would work, but that sounds like a lot of work to make two separate mods work even better together. But that'd be pretty cool. I wonder if the Underground update is using Lua, so Fargoth isn't carrying his entrails in his pocket. We'll have to find out. We'll have to ask OG what he's planning to do with that. That's going to be a lot of fun. Have you played the Underground way back when?
Of course, yeah. That's one of those classic mods that everyone plays. What is it? The Underground 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So looking forward to OG's remake.
I love all these old mod updates and remakes because
so
they're
nice. Yeah.
They're always nice, but sometimes you go back with a modern install and they look a bit weird or they don't work. But
a mod that, like a quest mod that could definitely use a facelift is the horror mod.
Oh yeah.
So it's great, like dungeons, everything super great. But Huskobar was playing it and just looking at it, you're like, and I'm not picky. Like I like my big fat pixels. I'm happy with that. But it was really quite jarring. It's just too much. So the horror might be the next one that somebody will take and dust off. That would be really, really nice. Let me catch up. Pretty artificial. Now they're answering. Telekinesis is noisy, is it? This goes, I don't know, it's buzzing or something. Ideally, Lua code could modify it so that if the item is within an NPC line of sight, that's what we were saying. Well, I'm really late in the conversation. Sorry, guys. I just want the mod because I cheese it with the telekinesis thief combo. It is true that the spell telekinesis is like, it's great all of a sudden. You don't need to have security. You don't need to be really good at being a thief either. You just hide behind a pillar and cast a spell. And I don't think it's that hard to cast either. It's not even an expensive spell. So, yeah. Mort, you have to forgive me. I'm not using your leveling mod anymore.
Oh, that's all right. I'm actually working on that right now.
Ooh, do tell. Are you adding skill decay? Because if you are, I'm switching right back.
I can. I can add what kind of skill decay?
I know you can, because when you published a mod, I think I sent you a PM and you said, oh yes, I can. So I have no doubt that you can. Simply when you don't use a skill for a long time, it goes down. That was something that Galcia character development used to do.
Oh yeah.
So,
does it decrease the attribute as well?
No. I don't think it did. Only the skill. But then I'm not 200% sure. I don't think so.
What happens if you like, is there a threshold for how long it can go down, or does it just reset to your base? So if you never use half of your misc skills, do those all reduce?
I don't think it goes further down than what you started with.
Okay.
And I think it wouldn't be really, really balanced that way, because then you could let, I don't know, you could let your medium armor skill decay to 0, and then you could train really cheap and really easily to choose the endurance. So
and then never use it again.
Yeah, exactly. And wait a little bit, and then, you know, if you're a thief, you do the same with spear, medium. Spear is endurance, I think. And heavy armor, and then you never have to do anything. So that would be, yeah. So I don't think it goes down further down than your base stat.
I think it would be, I could do that, but it would only be compatible with the new game, because I know there's so many different ways to modify your abilities and stats that I need an easy way to get what your base is before you modify it.
I don't think that's a problem. Like come on, you're not going to install a mod that changes how your character levels halfway through. It's just not a good idea.
You should see the comments on my mod. That seems to be everyone who does it. I installed this halfway through and things aren't working right.
It's not working. Just don't. It's silly. Okay, we're not going to look at them, because if there's something silly, we'll just end up making fun, and there's no point. But yeah, don't do that, guys. That's where we're looking. So yeah, looking forward. So since skill decay was not something you had on your list, what were you gonna do?
I was going to support when you change the base attribute of a skill. I think when I made it, it was hard-coded. So like certain skills would only increase speed, increase agility, increase willpower. Some people have changed it for whatever reason in the CS or with another mod. So I can just grab what you think it should be from any other mod and just increase it that way.
Okay, that'd be really cool, and increase compatibility for sure.
I kind of want to support any custom skills from any other added skill mod of Murlocs.
Yeah, because now, like, if I thank you, testing character, you've done good. But if I launch real quick my old perma, or soon to be old perma, at some point it will be all, I have like 15 custom skills. I don't want to say something bad, but between Murlocs mods, oh, I already have. Between Murlocs mods, Morrowind crafting, I think it might be just those two, but I know there's also a staff skill that I'm not using, but it's there.
Now, do they all have
an attribute?
Yeah.
We'll tell you in a minute. This is a rather heavy install, so it needs a bit of time to get started. It's got a decent 600 mods going. And I'm trying to make a fresh install. And every install I say, okay, I'm gonna be reasonable. I'm gonna cut out so many mods that I don't really use, and then I end up with even more mods than I had before. I don't know how that happens. So now I'm looking at 800 mods, and I don't know how I'm gonna fit them in my game. Give more a cookie. How about making destruction a skill?
I would base it off marksman. Unfortunately, there's no good way to scale your accuracy to the player. There was a really fantastic mod for Fallout New Vegas that would automatically move the aim of your player based on their skill in the weapon. And a lot of people hated it because they want the aim to be based off of the player's skill and not the character skill. But I think in an RPG, if your character is bad at aiming something, they should be bad at aiming. It doesn't matter how good you are as a player to be able to pinpoint it. So that would be cool to have like moving projectiles. People would hate it. People would absolutely hate it. And
I can imagine.
I can imagine. Marksman's already bad.
Like if there's my crosshair and I aim just right, then it's gotta work.
That's the basis of why people hate Morrowind combat. Like, I'm clicking. Why isn't it working?
Character-based gameplay. Yes. There's what's the name of that mod that changes the spell effects? It's Magic Overhaul?
I think so, yeah.
And, well, the spell effects are what they are, and the sounds are what they are. But there's one spell effect that I really like, is the one for blind. Because it actually puts on my character, it puts a purple cloud for a number of seconds.
Ooh.
So I am blind too.
That's awesome.
Was it blind? Or something, but anyway, like normally, you know, when the character is blind, maybe it's not blind, but the chance of hitting is lowered, but that's fine, it passes. But now I had the discomfort of not seeing for a few seconds, and I thought that was really, really cool. Greater synergy. If your character is affected by something, you should, well, maybe not feel it because it's gonna be painful, but you know, the player, you should have something to go with that. So you're drunk, it gets all blurry. Hey, Paxa. And everybody's got the magic crutch these days. Yeah. Everybody. So we wanted to see the spells. Sorry, the skills. So that's the skills that I have so far. And yeah, they all have an attribute. Oh, not fishing. I take it back. Fishing doesn't have. But most of them do. That's
good. That's, yeah. I'll just have to make it so if it doesn't have an attribute. Also, I don't know if all of those should be increasing attributes. I feel like that might be too easy as well, but maybe. I'll keep it up to you, if however people want to play.
Just a little option. I mean, the thing is, if you're playing with 100 caps for the attribute, then instead of practicing all kinds of skills that are not necessarily crucial to your character, you won't, because then you're not going to benefit from it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's uncapped, and I believe mine is, then you just keep on getting really good. And you're right. Like if I really go into using most of those skills with a character because I didn't kill my character at level 2, like I wouldn't do normally, then you're gonna become a god even faster, I guess.
Yeah.
So balance is an issue. At the same time, it's a skill. Like, I mean, right now, who is this? Yeah, this is my bot. She's not dead. But right now, we're doing a bot, so I really put some effort. There was a bug that helped me, but I really put some time and effort and commitment to getting my performance skill to 50. So
yeah,
why shouldn't it improve my personality?
Right.
It should. But it boils down to how people are playing, I guess. For me, I tend to completely overlook the skills that don't fit my character. I just ignore them. But... Sorry, I interrupted you.
Now, if only you could have performance as a major skill. I think that would be awesome to be able to select it in a custom class. I know it's been asked forever, and I think it's very hard to do, but
I'm guessing if it was reasonably easy to do, yeah, it would have been done. But maybe an option to, like, the ability to select one other skill to behave as a major skill. I don't know, like, it won't be moved to the major and miscellaneous and minor skills for sure.
Right.
But I don't know, the ability to toggle it and say, this is the skill I focus on. I don't know. That would be a question for Merlord, since he's the one who made the skill module and made it possible to have those skills. But I really like that, like especially with the mods that we have. If you really wanted to play a carpenter, I put Morrowind crafting. I take ashfall and I go out in the forest and I chop the wood and I chop the wood, and then I go back to my little workshop and I make furniture and I go and I sell it. Like you could play the game without ever playing the game.
That sounds like a dream come true, honestly.
It is doable already, really. But then again, the urge to do those quests and... But yeah.
No, I just want to farm. I just want to farm and make
Who's
clothing.
gonna make Farmer Lua? Who is gonna do it?
We need it. We need it so bad.
Like I would ask, people, but I'm all out of credit. I can't make any more requests for the next 5 years. But yeah, farmers would be so nice. There were some major bugs with it. I know I stopped using it.
I think it was Josh's farmer mod.
Mm-hmm. There was something with resizing buildings.
Yeah, it would scale things automatically. I think to grow the crops, it would scale them very small and then increase them in scale. The author of it actually had a mod page. He had a blog where he would talk about all the different scripting, and I actually learned a lot about Morrowind script from his blog back in the day. Like he was very knowledgeable about what Morrowind script could and couldn't do and all the different tricks. So that was shout out to Josh. Thank you.
That's not surprising. Like I know the page because I got the mods. Like Morrowind is hiding everything. No, it's not good. I got Haldenshire and Havish from his page. Morrowind jog mod. Not job. Jog. Run faster. Jogging mod. Oh my goodness, how dumb are you? There. So I knew about that page, and whenever possible I like to take the mods from the author's page if it exists. But I'm not seeing anything. Apparently he did some Skyrim as well. Why wait for this mod when you could steal it? Neverwinter Night 2. A number of people are really into Neverwinter Night. Now hang on, Neverwinter Night 2. Neverwinter Night 1 is the one that's still very popular. So anyway...
I found the link and I linked it in chat. That's I think that's a very short version of it, but he goes through a lot of cool things in there.
It's not exactly working. That is true. Okay, yeah, I'll take a look. I would assume a lot of it, if not most of it, should be in the scripting for dummy.
It's more of like a addendum to it, where he talks about things that it doesn't quite go into enough detail. So it's still worth reading even if you've read through that.
Skimmed through that.
Yes.
Really?
No one's read it.
I'm sure some people did, but for someone who has zero background in programming, it's like baby steps. It's like, oh, I need to close the bracket. Gotcha. You want a space between the bracket and the word? Okay. Anyway. And the farmer's mod, we have no pictures. But yeah, that would be so great. And if hello. Silkacat, welcome back as well. We already have Fable in Morrowind and Star Wars in Morrowind. Why not Stardew Valley in Morrowind? Can do. I cannot, but I'm sure some people can do it. Like I used to really like it. Doesn't obviously no one uses it anymore. But it was not graphic herbalism, advanced herbalism. That was obviously using the Morrowind script to replace the mesh like the old-fashioned way. I think that was the one in Dorith. But also this one would actually add seeds, and you would have a herbalism skill. Yes. No. Yes. And so you would get seeds, and then you could plant, and then they could grow. So you could really, really enjoy being a gardener. You could train the herbalism skill, which at the time was a global, I assume. It was a global for sure. I can't imagine another way. So that is my last item on my wish list for graphic herbalism, to put back the herbalism skill. That'd be very lovely.
We need a farmer mod.
Farmer, gardener, basically things that let you live on Vardenfell without having to go and kill Dagoth Ur and cliff racers. Like just be a citizen.
Yeah, there's a lot of alternate starts where you are not the Nerevarine, and like it just happens in the background.
There's what's it called? Never Say Nerevar?
Yeah, that makes Jube the Nerevarine.
Okay, it's not working. But yeah. I tried it once and it was not working. But yeah, Never Say Nerevar. Something that I think it really could use a little upgrade as well. I'm not gonna find it, but it exists. It definitely exists. I have a list of 7 assorted business mod. Forget the main quest and create a business empire. Yes, between farmers, Endoran, Erengard mines, Wayfarer's Rest.
Vardenfell Drug Lord.
Vardenfell Drug Lord. Though I prefer my own cave, but Vardenfell Drug Lord is like very involved. Like you have to invest in your business before you can make a septim out of it. It's Nerevar say Nerevar. Hence never would not appear. Thank you. There it is. A mod by Blake. Yeah. I would really like to see that developed a little more. Because it's a good one. Just like in, you're not playing Skyrim. You say you never modded it, but do you play it?
Of course.
I like the one where you start not as a Dragonborn.
Yeah.
So nice.
I never become the Dragonborn even when I play normally. I just never do those quests.
Thank you, Izzy, for giving a link that I gave in my blog. It's what's the word? What comes around gets around, or something like that. Good. Yeah. Business mods, I like that. Clothier, Smithy, the PC Smithy shop was buggy. Somebody should fix that. And again, now that we have some lovely placement mods, because this one, what it did, and that's the script that I've used for my own houses, but essentially, if an item is in a container, then it's gonna show, like another one is gonna show on the wall. That's a lot of scripts. But now with Lua placement, we could actually place the items on the weapon racks and everything. The Pearl Farm, yes, that's an old one as well. So many. One of the mods that I want to redo is Racer's Roost. A really, really old tavern mod by Barathenon.
Oh, I love all those tavern mods.
Wait, okay. Yeah. Rooster's Nest, no, but that's a good one. If that's the one, I think it adds. No, it's a house. There is one that adds cliff racer nests all around Vardenfell, and that's a very nice one as well. Yeah.
I wonder what the Blades and Azura would be thinking when the Nerevarine gets to Vardenfell. They're like, I'm gonna open a business. I'm not gonna fulfill my destiny at all. I'm more interested in farming and gardening and
yeah. Cliff Racer Nest mod, that's the one, Denina. Thank you and welcome back. Yeah, I've used that version of Arrogant Minds that you made, so it works with Morrowind crafting. But I'm guessing it will not work with Morrowind Crafting 3 out of the box. They might have renamed some of the items. There was a Razor Roost improved. Wow, if I don't have to make that mod, that'd be great, because my list of mods that I want to make, it's never ending. How many work in progress do you have, Mort? How many mods half made?
Too many. I'm slowly. I mean, stealth and distraction have been on my list forever. I released a beta for the distraction mod, I think 2 years ago. It's been out there.
I missed it.
Oh, it was sneaky. It was sneaky. I think it was called like Stealth Rock or something, because it was only
on the Nexus.
No, it was only on Discord.
Oh, a Discord exclusive.
Yes.
Okay, so this adds the ability to make alcohol. Which is not bad. I want people, I want customers, and most importantly, I want my employee to be nice to me. Talks to me like I'm dirt. Considering the climate, poor farmer Nerevarin might wake up one day to the knife of a blade agent at his throat and angry shouts, "You will fulfill your destiny." Yep, I can go along with that. I wouldn't mind having a, obviously optional, but some sort of timer where you can ignore your duties for a while, but at some point, you know, your destiny catches up to you and you have to fulfill it. That could work.
Was there a mod that made the sixth house get more powerful over time? Like as it went on, like the blight would expand and cities there'd be more attacks?
Not
I know there's
exactly
the main quest.
Yes, there is. I think it's a mod by Trainwiz.
Yeah. Main quest enhancement.
Enhancers.
Yeah.
But what it does really, I mean, the screenshots are not. Yeah, what it does, it adds things to the world to show that the sixth house is expanding its influence, but it doesn't, I don't think. Yes, it has.
It's based off the journal index, like how far you are in, not
exactly.
Time.
But I don't know that it would increase the spawns of ash and blight creatures as you go further along. That would definitely be an incentive to do the main quest, because let's face it, we don't want to do the main quest anymore. As the main, because it's based on the journal, easy, yeah. So as you reach a certain point in the main quest, boom, some of those graffiti would appear on the walls. But I think if you never do the main quest, then the sixth house presence is not at all. So
it seems like an easy thing to add to it. I don't know what his permissions are, but you could just have it. You could change, instead of checking the journal index, just check the day, and if it's 30 days from the start, it increases.
That usually I think Trainwiz is pretty cool with the can't speak anymore. That's it. With the perms, here we go. Creeping Blight, is that on the Nexus? It is. Oh, by Necro. I tend to really like what Necro puts out. The weather chances. So there's more and more blight storms as time progresses. You see, like, if we put a half a dozen mods together, I guess we could achieve the effect we were talking about. As time progresses, the sixth house and then the consequences of its influence would become more visible. So this one is for the weather. Nice. She's been afraid to progress in the main quest too quickly because she worries she won't be strong enough. Take your time, Variel. That's something we talked about quite a few times, to have a timer on some quests. What do you think about that, Mort? Do you think that would be a good addition to the game?
Absolutely. I love Fallout 1 having the timer. Just, it's a long timer, but you know that it's fast approaching. A lot of people hate it. Even though it's very, very hard to actually run up against. I think I like having an incentive. Like Corpus, I had made an ancient mod for Corpus. Like to incentivize you, you need to get cured. You need to like do something about it.
Is that? Oh, these are. I think Blood Moon Rebalance Tribunal, Blood Moon, and Sixth House Rebalance have become an immersive corpus. That's the one.
Yes.
That I've added to my permadeath install. So if I do get the corpus, I know I will be quite panicked, and I will do the main quest. But you added ways of curing it, different ways, or you have to go through.
You have to go through the main way.
You have to go, yeah.
Yeah.
You have more ways of catching it. That's what it is.
Yes, there's an option that makes it adds the corpus disease to the things that have corpus. It makes it very easy to catch, actually.
Yeah, when I did my cliff racer mods and I added corpus cliff racers and just like me, it was like, well, oh, hang on, they have to have corpus. And then there I was playing and I caught corpus and I was like, shit. So I started on the main quest. I was like, okay, main quest, let's do this. And it was the priority to get myself. And I didn't even have your mod installed. But yeah.
I don't do that by default. It's very easy to get corpus.
So maybe an update where you can catch corpus from a certain point in the main quest or something. So if you catch it, you have a few days, right? 20 days.
Yeah.
Okay, 20 days. If you have done nothing for the main quest, can you get to the point where you get cured of the corpus in 20 days?
Yeah, I think you can do the main quest in a few hours if you're very
and
fast.
you're level 1 and all you've done is collect wood and cook stew and the bitter coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works. Extreme. I don't know how many people.
Yeah, do not use that.
I can't imagine. But maybe a gentle immersive corpus. I know it's an oxymoron right there, but oxymoron in English, oxymoron.
There was I think there are still there's an effect resist corpus. Mm-hmm. So I think maybe integrating that in and making sure like in order to not catch it, you need to have like 100% resist corpus, either from like a face covering or like kind of similar to Ashfall. You got to make sure that none of your skin is exposed, and that would be.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense, but then with the story, if we knew of a way to protect oneself from corpus, then
it would be only spread by like the corpus beasts. It would protect you from that, but not if someone casts it on you. Because you could breathe it in. Mm. It's magic, right? It's just a magic disease.
It's a magic.
It doesn't have to follow
rules. It's a magical
rules.
disease. Yep. We don't have the ugly skin just yet for corpus. But yours, you got a chunk of corpus meat, something super gross and super cool at the same time.
Yeah.
Yes. That's just hilarious. Yep, I've produced corpus weeping. That's what I do.
And then brewed into potions, brewed into poisons.
That's really good. That's really, really good to make poison, actually. Very lovely. Let me catch up. Mod idea, catching corpus unlocks a new skill. Furniture stacking. Did I miss something in the conversation? Because that confuses me, Zero. How? What? Maybe something similar to vampirism where you can get infected from a creature, but if you catch it in time, it's easy to cure right away.
That's not a bad idea.
You
have to balance the lore with fun.
If
corpus was just an instant death, then no one would want to play the mod.
That's it. Yeah, that's exactly it. Because like within the game, corpus is a mysterious disease, and we we don't know how to cure it, and in fact, apart from the tribunal and high-ranking temple people, maybe not even them, nobody knows what is the source. So in the game, we can't go, hey, if you drink a bottle of sujama every day, you'll never catch corpus. So that could be a fun mod. If you drink a bottle of something every day, you'll be stronger. But if you stop, then you get a massive debuff. It's a known thing that alcohol is a form of medicine. There's in France, it's common knowledge that drinking a glass of red wine every day is actually really good for your health. It's good for your blood, apparently. But then if you go to Eastern Europe, they say, well, vodka, a little shot of vodka every day is really good. Cleanse your intestines or something. So I'm pretty sure that every country or region is going to have a really good scientific medicinal reason why their favorite booze is good. Why not Morrowind?
I live in Kentucky, so for here it's bourbon, but we don't pretend that it's good.
You don't? Well, there you go. Just made me lie to the whole internet right now. Thank you. Maybe that we read that. Pretty sure we need to be level 6 at least to get to the main quest. There is the uses resist corpus. We do have the resist corpus. But is it because it's never used or nobody knows it? Are there no NPCs that know of the spell?
I don't think it's in the game. Like, there are no spells that use that effect.
And that makes sense. Like, if we knew how to protect ourselves, then corpus wouldn't be such a big deal. Mm-hmm. Then again, COVID, we know what not to do, but that's a different discussion altogether. Lots of saying like that. Thank you, Izzy, for believing me, unlike Mort. Drink a cup of wine a day. It's good for you. Drink a cup of coffee a day. Coffee is good. It's a fact. Drinking coffee is good. You just don't want to have more than 4 or 5 cups a day. If you follow all of these every day, my goodness, you're just gonna die. I don't think they stack up very well. So immersive corpus, yes, I had forgotten about this one. Not looking forward to catching that with my permadeath character. Oh, Mort, that was you?
What?
Pointy ingredients helped.
Oh. Murlor needs to put that in Ashfall. I don't know why he won't merge it in.
I mean, to be fair, my character has eaten all kinds of horrible things. That's when I'm really, really desperate to train my alchemy and I have no money and I don't have the ingredients to make potions. Yeah, okay. You see, I know the mod, but I've never used it. But I can see.
I need to remake the randomizer.
Please do.
That was
please do.
The code for that is
crazy.
It's all Morrowind script. So it is it's a tower of like 70 globals and 70 local variables. It's miserable.
I know, again, I'm sure I PM'd you at some point about that because I absolutely love it, but and what did I want? Oh, at the time I wanted to make this. No, not Jira. This. No, not this. I wanted to make this mod where the scrolls, the alchemy report that are stolen / hidden / lost would appear in randomized location. And then eventually I annoyed Merlord and he coded it for me.
If you ask everyone to do it, eventually someone will make it for you.
I don't know that it's a good strategy. I'm not sure. Yeah.
You want to stream at 9?
Yes. Wow, I was going to mod today and I haven't done a thing. But that's fine. Yeah, I'm not sure that asking absolutely everyone, because Like if I ask anyone who could possibly do the mod, they'll go, "Oh, I'm sure someone else will do it," and then nothing happens. I think. You love the Ajira random reports mod. Thank you. It was not difficult. Like Merlord said, the code was easy. He did that in 5 minutes and then testing it. What took more time was to go in the construction set and place the scrolls everywhere and write down their exact location. And then these were put in the code. And there's then somebody else used the code. Is it MTR? Yes. Using the same code, but this one randomizes the tax collector and it's not very readable, but it randomizes the tax collector and the guy with the skimmer pipe between Balmora and Caldera. So these are anywhere. I mean, within reason.
We need more mods like that. We need someone to combine them all into a more randomized main quest where it's not the same every time. That would be amazing.
Definitely, because like even Fargos, like can you remember the first time you did that quest and like?
Yes, we've been expecting you.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Punk, for the follow. Like the first time you did it, and we're like, oh yes, that's where it's good. Like the excitement of actually watching him. Now it's like, what's the time? Yeah, I guess I have time. And you climb there and you go, okay, do your thing, Fargos. And it's not exciting anymore because obviously you know it. And there's so many things that could be randomized to, well, it wouldn't be like the first time, but almost.
Or finding Umbra just randomly near Saran, and you're like, what is this? I know Melchior Dark has an excellent.
It's a beautiful one, yeah.
Yeah, I had.
Late Master.
I think I made a mod like that. I made Umbra. Yeah, I have a randomized Umbra mod. I was trying to remember who made it, and it turns out it was me. That's a weird feeling. Wandering Umbra.
Mm.
And it's compatible with Umbra Blade Master.
Okay. Add to my mod list. Download. Thank you. And now I'm getting ever closer to 1,000. No, it's not optimized. It goes there. Okay, one more mod. Thank you for that. Next door Enwa is just bourgeois workplace sweat. It's pretty unfit. Okay, good use of Vardenfell favorite insults. No, how did I miss that? I swear I went through the whole catalog like 2 weeks ago, but then maybe it's because your screenshot is not eye-catching.
Yeah. I used to be very bad at screenshots, and I'm still bad, but I'm a little better. There's a lot to be said for advertising your mod. If you want people to play it, you need a good title, you need a good screenshot, you need a good description. If you mess any of those up, no one's going to touch it. Like, look at Thaddeus Foods of Tamriel. Beautiful.
Why, thank you. I agree. It's a work of art with extreme Photoshop skills. I mean, hang on. Like, no, I didn't even, but now I know how to put little shadows behind things. So.
Is that a real picture behind it?
For the picture, I took the Skyrim cookbook. Then I looked for a frame, and then I looked for a plaque, and then I put them all together.
So it's a Skyrim screenshot back there.
It's not even a Skyrim screenshot. It's the Skyrim cookbook or whatever.
Of real life food.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. I mean, maybe not this one or that one, but part of it, and then I made it blurry so no one can tell. So no, yeah, you see, there's the meat there. Did you say advertising screenshots? Zero, you did a great job with Ashfall. the trailer, and it's something quite new, I think, with Morrowind mods. We don't really advertise our mods. Not really. We hope that Dark Elf Guy is going to make a showcase, possibly.
That's really the dream of every modder, is to get it featured by Dark Elf Guy. That's when you know it's a good mod.
That's when you know you've made it. You're a real modder.
Yes.
It's true. It's always nice.
I think during this conversation, more mods have been uploaded.
Exactly. I need to check them out. Vegeto and Random Pal. If that's Duo Dinamico, I think that's the two of them. Overhaul. Oh.
Ooh, that looks nice.
That's some very sexy model. Now, I don't know that it overhauls everything though. I think it's just the Akulakan that gets. Oh, maybe that, I don't remember.
There's a lot of different ropes and tubes and.
Me and Random Pal could not make our head around it. How is it possible that no one makes something special out of it? I know. It's very, very disappointing. Like when you get there the first time.
I mean, when I got there the first time, I was still amazed because it was 2003 and it was still amazing.
Fair enough. I got. How many times did I? Must have done the main quest twice. And the last time it was super. Oh yeah. I was doing the Harry Potter challenge, and we got to kill Dagoth / what's his face, Voldemort. So it was complicated. But anyway, as I was fighting Dagothor, he fell in the lava. Like I didn't kill him; he just fell in the lava of his own little realm. So that was okay. But that looks like a super sexy model. I would like it to move just a little bit. Like I know it doesn't work anymore, but you know, like a final surge of energy or something, just something to make you go, crap, is that thing alive?
Someone needs to remake the final battles in this game, and I know the only person to have done it was Darknut.
Oh, with the Great Dremor, Darknut, Greater Dremor.
Yep. Yeah, that's the only one I can think of that redoes those last 3 dungeons. The dungeon with Sunder, Keening, and then Dagoth Ur. There's no other mods that remake those. There is Deeper Dagoth Ur, but that's unfinished. It's amazing that we've gone 20 years and no one's tried.
It's a major undertaking though.
There
is Trainways did a little overhaul, but just a little overhaul of the dungeon.
It's Torawainulal and Endisal. I know those are the two that Greater Dwemer Ruins didn't overhaul, and he did the other 2. Those are amazing. Those are some of my favorite
Very
dungeons.
Good looking. I love branding. You do, and it's so much fun. I must say, Zero, the few times, but it tend to take a lot of time where we discussed like how to do the page for Pimp My Shrine, which it was so beautiful that we're going to take a look at it again. Mort, I don't think you did Madness, did you? Like this year?
No, not last year.
This is the result of hours of work and talking and tweaking and trying all kinds of different modification to get to this perfection from Zero.
I've tried it out, and it truly is a work of art.
I want to say I think so, but I will sound either very conceited or overly proud. But I know I would love it even if it was not my team. That I like that. And that's super cool effect. So yes, marketing. Rubberman is also very much into marketing and branding. Zero, you should talk to him. I'm sure the two of you would have thousands of ideas. Markon, I sat waiting for my mod to show up in a deck video. Good feeling when it dropped, right? It does feel good. It's very rewarding. And yes, in Pip My Shrine, the final combat is very nice. Melchior scripted it, and basically, it's not there, but basically one of the trick that he used, and I've definitely taken note of, you know, when you fight, NPCs would use random line like you Enwa, this is the end of you Swit, and so on and so forth. But what Melchior does, he actually selects the audio line that fits best and then scripts that into the fight. So the NPC would say the right thing just at the right time.
Oh.
So it feels like it's, oh wow, it's so perfect, it fits. What luck? It's not luck, it's precision. You want to see the cool video? We have to watch the cool video. It's not very loud.
Beast and the unpursuable one. Himself recognized my his power. For he is fearsome and mighty. His name is Telekinesis.
There. It had been a while since I watched it. Good fun.
Still good.
I don't think it's cool. I wish we had the results of the madness. It's been a while, but enchanted new items. The cost of enchanted item. Don't we have something Lua for that? I'm thinking
I don't know.
Operator Jack. MWSC enchant. No, that's a different thing.
May not have had it.
Okay, maybe not. I'm quite sure I downloaded something. I present to you my mod list. Well,
It takes so long to load.
it's the crap. I have not started the installation per se. I have downloaded the mods and, you know, optimized the textures and reordered the folder so they would install nice with Rymash. Better enchantments? No, that's not it. MWC enchantments? No. No, that's Stripes mod. Okay, maybe... Aha! Enchant capacity rebalanced. A mod by Necro. There we go.
Enchant capacity rebalance.
Mm-hmm. For weapons, armor, and clothing. So when you have that with a MWSE, unless you're using Open Morrowind, obviously, but
True.
So I knew there was something. Okay, I'm not completely.
Is that enchant capacity, but not value? I think the other one is value.
Oh yes, when you make them, it's the price you pay. Okay. Price I hard coded. Isn't it GMST?
No, I think it means the prices, like the cost of like a steel or a glass jink blade is always like 5,000, and I think he's changing the value.
Oh, I see. So when an item is enchanted, it will be more valuable. Increasing the value on enchanted item. Isn't that something we have with the Morrowind code patch? It's just too many mods. My goodness, I can't keep them straight in my head. But I think the code patch does something like that.
It changes the value. That's a good point. Does that only affect new enchanted items, or does it affect all enchanted items, even ones from the construction set? Is there a
There's a soul gem, item recharging, that's a no. Maybe not. Ah, there we go. Items had the same value as the unenchanted version. So MCP does that. Maybe not, as much or.
Oh, that's for newly enchanted items though. This is just going into the construction set and changing
The
changing
value
values.
of a Jinx sword and.
I appreciate that he uses harder barter.
I like harder barter. So I've been switching between harder barter and hard trade as well, actually.
Yeah, having both makes it maybe a little too hard.
No, don't do it. I've tried. Actually, I've been using harder barter on its own, and it's nice because it's all proportional. But I also liked hard trade because the formula was a bit more complicated, which is not necessarily a good thing, but I like the fact that it would take into account my mercantile, my speechcraft, my personality, as well as the trader's mercantile, speechcraft, and personality. So I felt that even though things were super expensive at first, if I practiced a little bit and if I got better at negotiating, then one day it wouldn't be so bad. Never got to that point.
Who trains mercantile?
Excuse me?
Who trains mercantile? It's not going to happen.
Again, that's like mercantile, acrobatics, athletics, speechcraft. That's not mods you practice. It's just one day you just got good at them.
Yeah.
I also liked that, even though I never got to the point where I could do it. So, but I don't really need to use the feature, but knowing that there is room for improvement and getting better, I like it. But that's for the same reason that...
You can get better with harder barter too. It still takes your mercantile into effect. It just uses the vanilla formula.
But not speechcraft and personality.
Does the vanilla formula not take that into effect?
Maybe personality, but I don't think speechcraft. But then again, I'm not sure. Maybe. Anyway, and for my latest install, actually, I'm switching to Smart Merchants, Abbott's mod. But I'm a little worried I'm gonna get too rich. So if I get too rich, I'll have to switch back to your mod, or have both.
Does.
Yeah.
Default takes mercantile, personality, luck, and disposition.
Okay. Huh. Oh well. Well then, your mod is back on the menu.
No, I'm not doing it to try and convince you to use it.
But that's if smart, not snart. Smart trade, is it? Smart merchants. If smart merchants is not tough enough, I will put harder barter on top of it.
I need to make a slider for harder barter to make it less hard. Because there's something... I still would like the ability to make Daedric items not 20,000 gold.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I don't want every item to be cut so much.
What I felt I was doing is I was happily selling, with harder barter, I was stealing spoons again. Because I was getting like the full value of a spoon selling it, whereas selling anything else, I felt like I was being robbed blind.
Yeah, that's math. That's the log scale at work.
Exactly.
It has its pros and cons.
But yeah, a slider would be nice. If I remember properly, that applied also to Creeper, and I like that. So you couldn't go to Creeper and get super reach.
Yes.
So that's really good. Harder Barter and then Harder Merchant? The little add-on that Greatness 7 made? Harder Merchants, there we go. Where here the merchant's mercantile skill increases over time. So with harder merchants and hard trade, I felt that both the merchants and I had a chance to get better at what we do. Okay, so many things you want to update.
Yes. I've got a lot of work to do.
I know, me too. Where's my list? Yes, I like to make lists on paper. So there's, oh yes, I saw there's a mod and I tested it a long time ago. There's a mod that adds shouts.
Oh.
And it's not like, actually it's quite funny because when I'm looking at Skyrim mods, as soon as I see something that's Morrowind-esque, I go, yes, I want it. But it doesn't work the other way around. Typically, when I see a mod that adds a feature of Skyrim or Oblivion in Morrowind, I go like, meh. But I thought that would be fun, especially if I want to roleplay a Nord and blah, 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 blah. But, so the idea is fine and there's all the shouts, but essentially there are 3 scrolls to be found. And one scroll is going to teach you a dozen shouts and the other one is going to teach you another dozen shouts. So the implementation is, I mean, it's simple. It does what it says on the tin. But I would really like to be able to collect the shouts because I like collecting stuff, obviously. Mm-hmm. So if you had to go to many, many different locations on Solstheim to learn those shouts, that would be cool. So I'd like to try and do something like that, but a little more involved, I guess. Yes, Zero. I also thought of you because I know how good you are at finding locations and placing them. So I'll PM you about that. Explorers. Do you remember that old mod, Explorers?
Explorers.
It's it was basically when whenever you opened a plant container, there would be a chance that you find explorers. Yeah, I typed it right. There would be a chance that you find a chest. I'm not sure there's going to be an image. But essentially, well, there you go. Every time you pick up a plant, there's a chance that a chest will appear or an enemy will appear. And then when you open the chest, it can be trapped. Different things can happen. And then you find items in them and there were some mine gems that you could collect and you would basically use them as a currency to get better enchanted items. Say that again, Danai. Zero, I was saying that for the shouts and hiding the stones to learn the shouts, I did think of you because what you did with the Uncharted artifact and with the Easter egg, placing things and hiding them, is something that you do very, very well. So I'll send you a PM and we can talk about that. Shouts for Morrowind. So now we need to know if we can make edits to Fus Roda to make it Icarian style. Well, I think we could, Murderquats. Did you see earlier today? We're going in circles. Is it called Kicks? What is it called? Kickmaster. Did you see that, Murderquats? Where with a hotkey you can kick like so. So like it's super doable to push an NPC back. So yes, we could actually have the shout. I want to go to the ends where we see the bigger kicks like that. Okay, it's not realistic, but it is fun. Kick your enemies to the Red Mountain. So it is doable. Will someone do it? I don't know, but totally doable. A carrion Fusroda. Yes, it's a thing. So many mods to try. So, oh yeah, I was going through that. I'm not going to go through all the mods I want to redo, but Explorers, I really want to do that. With Lua, it could be so much better that you don't need to script the plants to do anything, or it doesn't have to be the plants, it could be looking on the rocks. I don't know. Too many mods. So what is your #1 project, Mort, right now?
Right now I need to update my leveling mod to add skill decay. That's number 1 on my list.
I like that. I like that. Hey, Glisp. Skill decay. That's the, I think, because you do say in the description that it's based on MAD and GDC, and that's the one feature from GDC that was okay, that I missed. And even MAD, you could have the skill drain optionally. So
does it just happen as you walk around? It just skill drains? I don't remember quite how it worked.
It's after time. I think it might be after 2 weeks in game that your skill would go down by 1. I don't remember the exact time scale of things, but yeah. Glisp, I see you find practical use for the kick mod. Yeah, but if you kick them hard enough, or if you're wearing heavy boots, I think something can happen. It can work. I wanna make all the Vivek gods chase me and then kick them in the lava. In the lava, Vivek? Oh, you mean to the Red Mountain?
All the way there.
All the way there. I mean, if you can jump there, you can kick them there for sure. But just like with the kick, the ability to kick somebody off a bridge, for example, that completely, not completely, but it definitely adds options to combat, right? Because combat is not exactly the best thing with Morrowind. Let's face it. Right. I'm gonna set things up to play Baldur's Gate in a little bit. And right now, we didn't play Morrowind, we didn't mod Morrowind, but we talked about Morrowind mods, and that's just as well, if not better. Mort, thank you so much for chatting with us. That was fun.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
That was fun. Anytime. Real quick before, because that's also, we talked about it first, but one day I'll learn how to type. So guys, if you've missed it, we took a look at stealth, which is very, very cool and very exciting. So check it out. The only reason why you would not have this if you're playing Open Morrowind. And if you're playing Open Morrowind, you should still look at the page and go, man, I wish I could use this.
Download it and then endorse it, please.
And that's a wait. No, hang on, because I'm making mods for the main modathon as well. So maybe, okay, guys, you look at it, you download it, you endorse it, but after you download it and endorse my. No, seriously, play it and keep watching the Nexus. We tried Distraction, another mod by Mort, where you can either throw an item or use a sound spell, and the NPCs are gonna go and check it out. So you can sneak on them and or get past a guard. It's super, super immersive and extremely fun. I want to play a thief
back
now.
In 2 days. 2 days it'll be released.
It will be released on the 4th. And it's got nothing to do with the fact that you can get an achievement for that. But you're right. Like I'm trying to get together a modder's resource, a mod, and in my mind I have until the 4th. That's the way it is. And the next one I'll publish on the 15th. I don't care. And the last one on the 1st of June. And there will be 4 mods, and my job will have been done. And then if I get more achievements, then cool. If not, I will have done what I wanted.
Yes.
It was fun and interesting to have you, Mort. I completely agree with Easy. I added screenshots. Ooh, let's take a quick look, Denina. Chapels of Vardenfell. I mean, that's the German versions. That's another mod that could use a little love, actually. All right. Ooh, look at that. Bright lights, but that's people praying. And here on that table, once you return the limeware bowl from the quest, it will be there. Sick people. You can't see this guy there, he's coughing. And here, my greatest achievement in terms of modding, where I put together 2 modding techniques. You know, way back when, before we had proper animations, the only way you could get an NPC to sit...
Fatigue 0.
No, not that. I tried that, but it didn't look good. No, to get them to sit, you would have to give them the sitting pants.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So what I've done with that lady over there, you can't really see, I'm not sure. No, I can't. I gave her the sitting pants and the coughing animation. I was really proud of myself for doing that. And then the sick people, there's different animations, but they're from RX32 animation pack. So they're lying down, but one is like that, sort of quite seductive, and the other one is like this, also quite seductive, but they're sick, okay? Don't be fooled. They're sick people. The animations are a little too... They're not like crazy sexy, but they're not in pain. I tried to put NPCs with 0 stamina and 0 health, but because they have different sort of animations, they would fall off the bed or sort of weird on the bed, and it just didn't work. And that's the infirmary. So another mod for you guys to try. It's not fancy, but it's quite immersive. Where do sick people go? They can't all go to the biosphere. That's all I'm saying. Are they actually physically sick or soul sick? Some of them have been given common diseases, but others have blight diseases. So if you have the blight by OG and Greatness 7 with the texture from Leia, then if you talk to those people, first of all, they're going to have the diseased skin, and if you talk to them, you can catch the blight from them. And I love it when all the mods go together. I really like that. When there's a synergy between mods, it's just brilliant. And sometimes it does crazy things. Like, how many times did I get stuck because I installed, like, I was doing the Blood Moon quest, and you have to get some ebony from Raven Rock, and it's just there. You go, you take it, and say, good, I have it. But I also had Morrowind crafting with a mining skill, and so I tried to mine, and I didn't get a single piece of ebony, and I was like, okay, what now? And it became a major quest to find 4 or 5 pieces of ebony. It was I love it. I love it when the mods together, they do weird things. I think I gave them the blight. Some of them have the blight, yes. They all go to the Great Farm. Was a joke referring to them lying in funny poses? Oh, I see. No, they're not soul sick. Some of them might be heartbroken, maybe. I'm not sure. All right. Once again, Mort, thank you so much. Anytime, okay? Just if you happen to be around, just say, "Hey, I'm around," and
Will do.
You know the way. You know the way.
Yes.
Everyone else, I'm gonna take a 5-minute break, and after that, we'll be playing Baldur's Gate. So I'll see you in a bit. Talk to you soon, Mort.
Bye.
Bye. I'll see you in a bit, guys. All right. I'm not out, okay? Let's get the Jenga going.